So this was put down 2 days ago, right? 48 hours ago. This section is in a shade zone. This is always in the shade. I drove the blower over it this morning. It looks dry. I drove the blower over it this morning. I got some sand rolling over, which leads me to believe that this is still very soft, possibly somewhat wet. Same thing over here. And see how it's lighter under that? If it was just sand on the top, then it would be dark underneath it. But it's a little light, which makes me believe that this is somewhat wet. Also, we can't get the tape to stick, which is indicative of there being moisture in the top still. So I'm very nervous because we have to coat this. We're getting rain tomorrow morning around 7, 8 o'clock. And I'm worried that now that we're gonna have an issue with this not drying in time, but the back section too. Now we've had unbelievably good weather for the last week or so. I mean, it's been 80s, mid 80s the whole time, and we've been very lucky and have been able to crank out on this. Now, this material is great as long as it has direct sunlight. I mean, I try not to work with this material. Just walking the line. I try not to work with this material. Like after the first week of October, even if you got some stuff that's really in the sun, you might have good luck with it, but anything in the shade, anything whatsoever, 3 days later, if it rains, it's going to wash the color out. You're going to have to come back and do it. Also, I forgot what it's called, but when it gets really cold at night, this has a tendency to have a white or a gray sheen to it. So you come the next day and it looks dry, but it also looks white. So, we over the years have learned our lessons, and we pretty much give up on tennis courts about the end of September. Now we got this job right here, which is a 6-pack. We already pretty much got this side is done. Just need some minor stuff, but we typically just stop at the end of September. Now we have this job for Clark University that we're doing, and then we have one more that we're going to start in Mendon next week, but that is out in the middle of a field. We won't have any issues with it drying, but this one we are definitely going to have issues. Now they have people coming in to cut those trees and thin them out after we leave, but we need it cut now so we can get the sun in here. I have just a bad feeling about this. This is almost a 6-figure job. So, I'm very anal. My guys are too on this. They've come in and held themselves to a high standard, saw things that they didn't like about what they had done the day before, and then they redid it. We're really holding ourselves to a high standard on this job, being a college and all. So, I don't know. I'm just really nervous about that section over there. And something's telling me to not even bother. Don't do that back section. Just do everything but that back section right now, because you're going to lose it to the weather. So, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's fucking decisions.